Hey guys, Alexis Hughes here. I am a North Carolina and South Carolina realtor with eXp Realty. And today we are going to talk about this quote that you see up there and what it means for you as a real estate agent, as a person in your life, just period. So this quote says, you are only remembered as a failure if you stop when you fail. And so today we had a huge, amazing coaching call. And in that coaching call, we were talking about envying others and their success, seeing everything they've done and not realizing the hard work that it took to get there, resenting them for it, and kind of what that breeds and the importance of continual growth. That could be growth in business, that could be growth in personal, but you should always be growing. And I know in the real estate arena, we're normally talking about growth as in production and numbers and all of that fun stuff. But for today, I want to talk about growth in yourself. So many people out there will fail 3 or 4 times and then they stop altogether. It's not working. I'm not going to do it anymore. And this quote speaks directly to that. You're only going to be remembered as a failure if you stop when you fail. What we have to remember is that failure is a learning lesson. And who in this world never wants to learn again? If you are not learning constantly, then you are not going to evolve. You're going to stay stuck in the same place. I hear all the time, I love how my business is going. I don't need to continue learning. I don't need to push myself. And so there's a difference with being content with the business that you have, or content with where you're at in your life, and being complacent with it. So I am content with what I have right now, both personal and professionally. I could not grow ever again in any aspect of my life, and I would be fine. But the thing is, I'm not designed to be fine. I'm designed to be great. Great in the happiness I have, great in the fulfillment that I have, great in what I can provide others, great in how I can impact others' lives, great for my children, great as a wife, great as a mom. And I'm going to fail in those things at some point in time. But every single failure is going to push me closer and closer to greatness. Every single failure is going to teach me how to do better. When I yell at my children, that's a failure on my part. I'm not communicating with them in a productive way. So when I yell at them and I fail, I learn, hey, you need to go back. You need to be self-critical. Why did this happen? I want to talk a little bit about growth, right? So if you're green, you're growing. And if you're ripe, you're rotten. What happens to rotten fruit? Let's talk about that. Rotten fruit has grown all it can grow. It's going to die, shrivel up, and fall off the tree and go back down into the earth. I never want to be a ripe piece of fruit ready to just shrivel up, die, and never be anything again. I want to be that green fruit, that fruit that's hanging on, still learning, still growing, still taking in all the nutrients. And because of that, because I'm that green fruit, what's going to happen is I'm going to be the one that people want to pick. When you look at an apple, are you going to pick the nice green Granny Smith apple? Or are you going to pick the shriveled up brownish green yellow apple? No, you're going to pick that bright one. Where am I going with this, right? This is leading us into what you're doing every single day, whether that be for your business or whether that be for your family or whether that be for yourself. If every single day you're constantly learning and growing as a person, professionally and personally, then what's going to happen is you're naturally going to attract others to you, whether that be clients, your kids wanting to be around you more, your spouse wanting to be around you more, your colleagues wanting to learn from you. So think about it this way. If you are giving and you are, not only lighting a fire in others, but you're helping kindle that fire, you're helping put larger logs on that fire, you're going to grow. If you come from a place of giving, I want to help you, whether that be clients. Mr. Client, I truly just want to help you reach your goals. Then what's going to happen in return is that you are going to reach your goals. I've got so many notes from today's training, and I want to make sure that I hit on everything. There was this amazing quote today that just made sense to me. And the reason it made sense to me is because in my business, I have failed. In my business, I have had to look at what I was doing and reassess it and do it differently. And the coach today, his name is Jeremy, he said something and it just really resonated. Thinking about a rose bush, for instance, that rose bush is going to need to be pruned, and pruning hurts. Change hurts. Admitting you're wrong hurts. Failing hurts. Seeing others succeed when it appears they're not trying and you can't hurts. But here's the thing, pruning hurts, but in the end, we bloom more beautifully. Without that pruning, you stay stunted. You don't grow to your full potential. You need to prune. How do you prune? You learn, you help others, you shake off dead weight and negativity. There's so many ways to prune so that you can grow into the biggest, most beautiful rose bush that is yourself. You have to get up. I mean, he had so many great things to say. You have to get up to sow and to serve, not to make money. So we kept going on and on today about gardens and growth and plants and flowers and fruits. And so it all made sense in a way that never has before. So if your constant focus is money, 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 what's that going to do to you? Today, your goal may be to make $100,000. Well, guess what? Once you make it, then what? 200,000, then 300,000, then 400,000. And at the end of your life, every single time you move that success stick, if I only made 100,000, I would feel successful. If I only made 200, I'd feel successful. It's always going to continue moving. So when you wake up to make money, you're going to end up shooting yourself in the foot, because no amount of money is ever going to fulfill you in a way that giving to others can. Sowing good seeds within yourself, within those you encounter, and then serving. So we don't just throw seeds into the ground. Farmers don't just throw seeds out on crops and never do anything with it. They sow and then they serve those seeds, whether that be through fertilization, with water, obviously sunlight. They serve those seeds well. And in the end, those seeds bloom and they give you your crops, they give you your flowers, they give you that beauty and that sustenance. That's not money. That is what love, care, nurturing, learning, growing, and putting time and energy into all of that does. You can apply this to business and you can apply this to personal, because your business and personal will intersect. If something is going wrong in your personal life, it's going to affect your business and vice versa. And so how can we make sure that we're doing every single thing we can? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot be afraid of failure. If you are going to not do something that could better you, even if you don't know if it can, if you're not going to do it because you're scared or you're self-conscious, or what if I fail? What if you fail? Guess what? You failed forward. You learned something from it. You took something away, and now you can take that failure and make sure it doesn't happen, not only for you, but for others. You can be a good steward of the mistakes that you made. Because here's a really good point that Jeremy and another coach, Rich, made today that stuck with me. You shouldn't just be learning from your mistakes and your failures. You should be learning from others' mistakes and failures as well. If you are looking at someone make a mistake and the first thing that you think to yourself is, I'm never going to be like that idiot, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because I'm sure if you looked at that mistake they made, you could find one little shred of item about yourself that is contained within that mistake or that person. We are all human, so we're going to make that mistake. We're going to judge. We're going to do all of that. But we want to make sure that if we're doing that, we're catching ourselves and we're figuring out where we can learn. Even the dumbest person in the room has something to teach, even if you're the smartest. So with that being said, let's get into what happens when we're failing, what happens when things aren't exactly where we want them to be, right? What can we do? We can be envious of others. And 9 times out of 10, if you're envying others, then you're setting yourself up to have a bad life. What makes you uniquely you, and you uniquely qualified to represent the clients you do, to lead the agents that you do, is not the same thing that would be what makes me great. So to give you an example, my personal asset from my entire life experience that I think makes me uniquely awesome at what I do is my drive to succeed no matter what. I don't stop, I don't quit, and I want to succeed. Part of that comes from how I grew up, part of that comes from how I've worked, part of that comes from just my natural personality. But that is a unique quality of mine that can't be taught, that I am good at. There are others that don't have that quality. That doesn't mean they should envy me for that quality. It doesn't. It's the number one way to have a bad life, because you're going to look at me and you're going to say, oh, if I could be like her, oh, if I could be like her. You're going to try to be like me, and then you're going to make yourself miserable, because that's not your nature. You need to find what your unique quality is and do that 110%. Nobody else is going to be able to do what you do in the world ever. And that's what you have to remember. Guys, there's a couple of things on here. Number one ways to fail as an agent: envying others, resentment, resenting. It only damages you. It holds you back from every single positive thing, because you are using all of that energy resenting past people that have hurt you, past damages, past events in your life. All of that, you're taking all of that and you're holding on to it. And that energy spent holding on to it is keeping you from failing forward, right? That resentment and some of those experiences are your failures, and resenting those failures is keeping you from moving forward. Number two, be unreliable. If you're unreliable, that's number one way to fail, personal and professional. I want everybody that I work with to be a partner with me. I don't want to be better than them. I don't want them to be, well, that's a lie. I want everybody I work with to be better than me. But initially, I want us to be partners. I want us to work together as a well-oiled machine, whether that be our clients, whether that be agents that I lead, whether that be my children, my husband, my parents, anything. And then when I fail, I'm going to show up again. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to show up every single time until I just die. And one day I'm going to. But at the end of my life, I'm not going to worry about what's in my bank account. I'm not going to worry about all those failures. What I'm going to look back on is my accomplishments, the memories made with my family, things of that nature, the impact I made on the world. And, I want everyone here to stop comparing, stop looking at what everyone else is doing and feeling down, stop looking at their progress and what they've achieved that you haven't. The fact of the matter is there is a way for you to do what you want to do, but your way and your road is going to be completely different than what mine or anybody else's will be. And the key difference between those people that are succeeding and those people that are stuck is the people that succeeded failed over and over and over and over again, but they did not stop. They kept showing up. They kept learning. They kept evolving. They were self-critical. They accepted the weaknesses, whether they drank too much alcohol and that was the reason they couldn't perform the way they wanted to, whether they just didn't apply themselves, whether they decided to sleep until 11 o'clock. All of them failed in some way and either learned from it or stayed stunted from it. So today I'm challenging everybody, write down your failures, every single failure you can think of. And I want you to, out the side of it, think, number one, how did I contribute myself to this failure? Not everybody else on the outside, but you, because we all contribute to our failures. How did I contribute to this failure? Number two, what did I learn from this failure? And number three, what can I do to ensure that I don't fail this way again? Look at that, review it, and then make a plan based on those failures. Those failures are your roadmap, right? So if we have a map of the United States and we're going to go from North Carolina to California, right? We have this map planned out. All along that map should be little dots where you have failed, but you kept going until you reached your destination. And when you reach your destination, it shouldn't be necessarily, oh, I'm done. No, no. Then we're going to grab the map and we're going to go to Italy and Mexico and other places until we have traveled all over the world, failing forward and reaching destination after destination after destination. That when we lay our heads down and take our final breath in this world, there will be not one regret. We're not going to be thinking about our resentments. We're not going to be envying our neighbors. We're going to be thinking that we set out to accomplish what we actually accomplished. So guys, I hope you have a great day today. Make it a good one. Do the assignment, show up, keep showing up, keep failing. Failure is not a bad word. It is just not. Have a great day.